the pirate software drama. So I'm not going to make a chapter update here because it's still part of the same conversation. Apparently, Europe is, or at least some in Europe, is taking this quite seriously.
You should definitely make this a separate point and thing.
Okay,
so
okay.
There
let me update it.
Okay, yeah,
okay,
there we go.
Yeah.
There is currently a politician in the EU Parliament, and somebody pretty important, the Vice President, Nikolai Stefanov something. Sorry, it's got a lot of squiggly lines on his name. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Listen, I love the Romanian people, okay? I played World of Warcraft with a lot of Romanians. You guys are a rowdy bunch, like I always say. Did you know, Agalon, that if you cannot cuss somebody out for 15 minutes straight without repeating the same insult, you know what that means in Romania?
What?
You don't have a driver's license. That's what that means.
Wait, those guys have some swear words?
No, you don't understand. It's not that they have that many swear words. It's that they are very, very creative with their insults, okay? Like their most basic insult, I can't even say because this video will get demonetized, okay? It's literally that bad. And
why? Hungarians, why are you guys, or Romanians? Why are you guys so angry?
Romanians. It's like, listen, and when I was playing World of Warcraft with them, this was the thing that I heard the most, like all of the time. Like somebody would make a mistake and it would like instantly snap off, boom. It's like, it's a terrible insult, all right?
But
so
I don't
those guys are
why are they
bunch.
so angry?
I don't know, bro.
Is life hard in Romania?
It probably is. But this guy, the vice president, he said that like, listen, when you purchase the video game, the customer owns the game, not the company. That's how it works. And he basically said that he signed the petition himself and that he is supporting the initiative and he will provide any help that people need, which is friggin' awesome because I've been seeing a lot of discussion back and forth. And I think that a lot of people are misinterpreting what this bill is because people think that just because you own the product that you purchased, that gives you the right to just copy paste it and then just mass resell it to other people, which obviously these are two very different things because you can own a car. That doesn't give you the right to open up a shop and start manufacturing that car. Yeah. These are two very different things.
Well, what do you mean? I bought the BMW. I know how it's made. I can just make more.
Yeah, just make more. Go right ahead. I'm sure we'll work out great for you. But it's like, this is the conversation that has been happening. I even had like a conversation on Twitter where somebody was saying, well, yeah, but you know, owning the car, that's one thing. And then your driver's license is the EULA. So you can own the car and then that doesn't mean that you can go and break the rules of the road. And I was like, you're correct. The difference with video game is that now the EULA is saying that you don't own the car anymore and they're taking your car away.
Yeah. So in other words, the second your license lapses, the government comes in and says, our car now. Let's go.
Like, it doesn't work like that. You need to understand what is being argued here, which is like very different. And it's like ownership of the game does not mean ownership of the IP. These are two very different things that people keep conflating. And I don't know if people genuinely do not understand or if they're just like trying to, you know, argue in bad faith. I no longer know what is going on, but I've been having a lot of these conversations recently because I made a video where I basically said these EULAs are stupid in regards to the stuff that happened with Ubisoft, where people noticed that Ubisoft had that update that they did, which wasn't even recent. It just came to light recently because of the Stop Killing Games initiative. But Ubisoft has that termination clause that says, once we decide to terminate this, you have to destroy all the copies of the video game in your possession. You have to destroy physical you have to kill everything. And it's kind of like, it's dumb. It's stupid that a EULA says that because it's incredibly adversarial towards your customer base. And EULAs are not really legally enforceable for the most part. You've never really seen anybody enforce, oh yeah, you gotta go break your disc now. Like that's stupid. Like nobody is going to be forced to do that. But the interesting thing is they're not the only ones who have this in their EULA. Like, you want to know a couple of more, Agalon? Just a couple of examples. I'm not going to say all of them because, like, somebody on Reddit actually compiled a list. But, like, some of the important examples would be, like, Larian has this in their EULA.
Oh, yeah.
But Larian also doesn't take their EULA seriously because they call it end-user license, also known as our cursed pact. And then they refer to the EULA as the pact, but they have the same clause in there as well of like, if the thing terminates, you have to destroy it. And in the Reddit thread, they said, oh yeah, but you have to be the one to terminate. And it's like, no, there's a clause above that says that they can terminate it if you don't accept like updates or something like that they've done to the game. They can terminate it on their side. And that basically would, apply the same clause that you have to destroy your shit. Another one would be Elden Ring. Elden Ring has that in their EULA as well.
I would argue probably most companies have that in their EULA. And the reason for it is most of these EULAs are super standardized.
It's copy-pasted. Yeah, it's copy-pasted stuff. Because some legal monkey in,
Yeah, because from their perspective, it is their property because games are a service nowadays. So one of the things I do love about the Stop Killing Games initiative is exactly that. Some games is a service, and that is true, right? If you're playing an MMO, you're playing a multiplayer game, that is a service. Everyone agrees with that. But a single-player game is not a service. It's a game, right? Cyberpunk 2077. How is that a service? In what way? Once you have the game, it's yours, and you're the only one playing it, right? Like, you can play it offline. So my issue is, and again, it's always this sort of thing of rules get made because of very bad actors doing very bad things that then affect everyone else, right? Because you absolutely do have... so, for example, we spoke about this just before we started. In the past, when games were still physical, I don't know, many of you were probably not alive back then, but you guys would not believe this. There was once upon a time... these magical shops that you would walk into, right? And these shops was almost like think of Steam but physical, where you had all of these boxes with games in them. You could pick one, and then you could take it and pay them, and take that home, and it was just yours now. Like, you just had this thing now that was just your game forever and ever. But then, let's say you finished that game, but maybe you don't. You now want to buy another game. Well, you could go take that game back to this magical shop, and they would actually buy the game back from you and give you money or in terms of store credit that you could then spend on buying other games that you might want to play. This is how it used to work. And then came the era of the internet. We had the online games that came out, and this was put an end to through the magical world of accounts. Suddenly you needed accounts for literally everyone, and the game would be tied to your account. So you can't sell the game because it's tied to your account, and selling your account is illegal. Now, I get why they did that, right? Because it stops sort of gold farmers from going into a game like World of Warcraft, leveling an account to 80 on every single class, and then selling that account. So basically you're just doing these sale accounts, right, where everything's just leveled to 80 and then sold. So they're trying to get rid of that. I get that. But at the same time, why can't I sell my games? It's mine. I bought it. If I no longer want to play it, I should be allowed to sell it. I
believe that there were also initiatives in Europe where they were trying to get that passed, where you would be able to resell digital goods. Yeah, I don't know where that ended up going, but I do believe that for a while they were trying to pass that.
I feel like that would be one where the games lobbies would fight tooth and nail to stop. Because remember, reselling of a game cuts them out of the loop. They're not going to get money for the resale.
That's why for a while, you probably didn't experience this because you don't really play console games, but for a while we had something called the Online Pass. You ever heard of this?
No.
Akalon doesn't know about the Online Pass. This is hilarious. This is a piece of gaming history, so you're going to learn here today, Akalon. So
all right, I'm ready.
What happened was, and this, I think that the first ones that started this was obviously EA. I'm pretty sure it was EA.
This makes sense.
So what was happening is, because of that secondhand market that you're talking about, you had some games which would have like their optional online portion, right?
Yeah.
And so what would happen is, because people were just reselling these video games, these companies going like, this is some bullshit. Like, I can't make any money off of this. So effectively, every game that came out for a while would have with it a code inside the box. So the game would be on the disc, but then there would be an extra code that you would have inside the box. Okay. And when you would claim this code, this would give you an online pass to play that video game online. So in order to play it online, you needed to have this code. So like, for instance, I think that Mass Effect 3 is one of the games that had that, because Mass Effect 3 had that multiplayer thing.
Oh, yeah.
So if I was to buy Mass Effect 3 for console, because obviously on PC you already had the accounts and stuff, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But if I was to buy like the PlayStation 3 version of Mass Effect 3, and then I'm like, okay, I finished it, and I sell it to you, you can't go and play online because I already claimed the online pass.
Oh, okay.
And so you then have to go to the EA store and buy an online pass so that you can, so you have to pay me for the game and then pay EA to play online. And this was like, for a while, like most games would have this. And this, by the way, is the reason why so many games, you'd be like, why does this game even have multiplayer? It feels so tacked on, so that they could charge you for the online pass.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get what you mean. But again, I fully respect that it's either EA or Ubisoft that did that first. That's just my bias is one of those two were the scumbags, right? Because back then, Blizzard was still finding their feet in the scumbag world. So they probably want that, right? Nowadays, Blizzard is definitely a contender. But back then, it wasn't they're bad yet. Yeah.
But basically, when it comes to online games being a service, I actually see it differently. To me, it's like, listen, if I pay an upfront price for a video game, I'm buying the video game.
Yeah.
Then the server side portion of that is the service that you are providing to me. Now, I can't play the video game without the service portion, but I still bought the video game, which is why, to me, it is always important that if you then decide to sunset the online video game, I expect to see a copy of the server software be provided to me so that I can host it locally and play it for myself. I understand that while the game is an active service, me having that server software would effectively be competition against the official servers. So I get it. Not fair. Sure. Whatever. Yeah. But when you are no longer providing the official servers, you should give people a server that they can host themselves locally.
I don't even understand. I don't even understand why the gaming industry is so against this. You could absolutely turn this into a money-making experience, right? Because all they would have to do is say, okay, our plans for the sunset is effectively, we'll give you access to servers for $6 a month. Because most online servers will charge you a fee per month, right? So we won't charge you full price anymore. But if you want access to the servers, we'll charge you $6 a year or $7 a year, and you get access for it.
That actually would open them up for liability, because then they would have to maintain those servers.
Well, they could put into writing that we simply provide the servers. We do not provide any of the moderation or any of that stuff. But I get your point. So the other option would just be to say,
at that point, they're still providing you with a service, and therefore it's like, imagine, servers went down. Oh shit, we have to go figure out what's going on. But it's like the other way is like, here's the software, you fucking figure it out. We're out of the game, and like that's it. That's all you got to do. That's literally all you got to do. And by the way, a lot of people then go like, oh, you want source code. It's like, I don't want source code. I don't want none of that. I want a fucking binary, okay? I want the same thing that Pal World gives everybody when you buy Pal World. Pal World literally just gives, hey, here you go. Here's the server binaries. when it released, it didn't even have like a proper manual on how to set it up. It's just like, hey, here's the binary, fucking figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And people went on and they figured it out. And Enshrouded, same thing. Here's the binaries, host your own server. These don't even have like a graphical user interface. These are literally like command line servers that are running, which is what most servers
Valheim has its own server.
Valheim as well. It's
stuff.
like there's tons and tons of these Survivor games that come with their own servers. It's like, and people seem to believe that this is like some arcane technology from the heavens that like nobody can fucking do it. It's like, brother, you can go get a World of Warcraft server right fucking now.
Yeah.
You can, it's a pirate one, but you can just go get one and host World of Warcraft locally on your computer right now. And this is like potentially the biggest MMORPG, okay?
Yeah.
It's like, this shit is not nearly as complicated as so many people seem to believe. It's like, oh, you don't understand. They have like these proprietary servers with the tech. It's like, no, it's not, okay? This is fucking software. This is not like some arcane magic from the heavens, okay?
Yeah, I
Chill.
mean,
like,
to be fair,
it's just very frustrating whenever I see other gamers arguing against this. And then they're like, well, but then the company is responsible. Like, no, they're not. Why are they responsible? They gave you the software. And that's like, they finished the server. They gave you the software and that's it. There's no more responsibility. They're like, well, what about cheaters? And I'm like, what do you mean, what about cheaters? You're hosting the server locally. This is not like some random person. You're the one. You and your friends. You're hosting the.
You're
this
responsible.
shit.
If someone's cheating, tell your friends to cut it out.
If your friends are cheating, go over to his house and punch him in the face. Like, fucking sort it out. Like, and the thing that really just like annoys me so much is whenever I see people coming up with like all of these roadblocks that they just help the corporation. Like that's what it is. It's like, you don't understand, because then there will be cheaters, and then there's all the it's local server. It's local. You're hosting it. You're literally hosting it. It's on your computer. How can I get this through your thick skull? God, I'm so frustrated. Sorry.
No. I fully understand your frustration, because it does feel like you're sometimes speaking to like a wall, and no one seems to be thinking, hold on, there might be something, there might be more to this. I think
they just like take the company talking points, like literally that statement that the lobbying group made, and they're like, I mean, obviously they have to turn it down. It's like, obviously, how are they going to do the remasters if they don't shut it down? It's like, oh my God.
I think one of the biggest problems is exactly that. People seem to think, people seem to be incapable of imagining another reality, right? So the current reality is always going to be the reality, and there's no way to imagine anything other than the current reality, which is obviously just not true. You know, there's plenty of other ways in which these things can play out, and it is definitely worrying that we live.
It's like, make no mistake, if World of Warcraft shuts down, you're never going to have that same World of Warcraft experience ever again. That's never going to happen. You're never going to jump into it unless it's a pirate server or whatever, but you're never going to jump into a server and there's like thousands of other people there. It's not going to happen.
No.
That doesn't mean that I can't like host my own server and me and Akalon can get together and go through like the Westfall quest lines or whatever and just fart around in there. And it's like, it doesn't mean that you can't still experience a portion of that world the way that it used to be. You can't do everything. You're not going to be able to do raids unless you're able to get 10 people together to join your server, right?
Yeah.
But you can still experience the rest of it, and you still have access to it, and you can still remember it. And it's just so frustrating to me that people don't understand. Like, because for instance, when I talked about Anthem, a lot of people are like, yeah, nothing with Valley was lost. Fuck Anthem. It's like, bro, I liked Anthem. And it's like, even though I haven't played it in a long while, doesn't mean that I wouldn't like to eventually go back and just like revisit, because the flight model was awesome, because the combat was awesome, and all of these things. Like when I was recording gameplay footage for the Anthem video that I did recently, I was like, oh man, I just want to play some more. I just want to keep playing. Fuck making the video. I just want to play the game some more, because I got reminded of how fun it was. It's frustrating that people don't understand that it's important to preserve this stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I think people have to realize we are living in a world currently where a lot of these corporations are taking the piss, right? They've gone way too far with a lot of stuff. Look, I'm not trying to get corporations to not make money. I want them to be able to make money, but I also want them to not take stuff away that I've already paid for. Because I don't care if I paid for this a decade ago or 2 decades ago, I paid for it. Unless you want to refund me because it's no longer accessible, you don't get to claim. And this is where the whole games as a service comes in, right? Because they've labeled it as a service, you paid for that service, and now the service is no longer available. Therefore, we don't have to refund you. So I personally think this specific stop killing games thing might actually unearth a lot more. I'm still skeptical of what the government is going to do and how the government is going to play it, because I don't always trust the government when it comes to these sorts of things. But I think overwhelmingly this is a positive move. And it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had, because maybe, just maybe, some of these corporations wake up and stop trying to make everything a bloody service. So many games exist today that are multiplayer games that should be single player games. They make no sense as a multiplayer game. Anthem being the biggest one. Anthem
it should have optional multiplayer.
Yeah,
it should have just like optional multiplayer, and you could have like NPC companions for the single player campaign. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's super 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 annoying, but hopefully we'll keep you guys up to date on everything that happens here when there's more information. So